In East Africa, geography has always shaped destiny. Along the Indian Ocean sits Tanzania, a coastal nation with deep-water ports, open access to global shipping lanes, and a natural role as a gateway between Africa and the world. Just a few hundred kilometers inland lies Burundi, small, mountainous, and completely landlocked, with no direct route to the sea. On a map, the distance between them looks insignificant. In reality, for decades, that short distance has felt like an unbridgeable gap. Poor roads, rugged terrain, and the absence of modern rail infrastructure have kept these two neighboring countries economically distant, despite their shared interests and complementary strengths. Tanzania has ports and logistics capacity. Burundi has valuable minerals and untapped resources. What they have lacked is a reliable way to connect the two. Now, after more than 10 years of delays, that missing link may finally be taking shape. China is preparing to begin construction on a $2.2 billion cross-border railway, a project that could fundamentally alter the economic futures of both Tanzania and Burundi, and potentially reshape the broader economic map of East and Central Africa. This is not just a story about steel tracks and locomotives. It's a story about access, opportunity, and how infrastructure can quietly determine the fate of entire nations. Dar es Salaam, a port waiting for the hinterland. Tanzania's largest city, Dar es Salaam, is home to one of the busiest ports in East Africa. Every year, millions of tons of cargo pass through its terminals, not only for Tanzania itself, but also for landlocked neighbors like Rwanda, Zambia, and parts of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. On paper, Dar es Salaam should be a logistical powerhouse. But ports do not thrive on ships alone. They depend on what happens far inland. For goods to flow efficiently to the coast, there must be fast, reliable, and affordable transport links. And this is where the system has long broken down. Across much of inland East Africa, modern railways are either incomplete or entirely absent. As a result, countries are forced to rely on long-haul trucking. That means cargo crawling for days, sometimes weeks, along narrow, damaged mountain roads. It means higher fuel costs, frequent breakdowns, weather disruptions, and rising accident risks. Every delay adds cost. Every cost reduces competitiveness. For Tanzania, this has meant that its ports have never reached their full potential. For its inland neighbors, it has meant exports that struggle to compete on global markets. Burundi, rich underground, isolated above ground. Nowhere is this problem more visible than in Burundi. The country is small in size but significant in geological wealth. Beneath its hills lie valuable mineral deposits, including nickel, cobalt, and other strategic metals increasingly essential for modern industries, from stainless steel to electric vehicle batteries. One site in particular, the Muzongati nickel deposit, is considered among the most important nickel reserves in the world. In theory, these resources should be a powerful engine for economic growth. In practice, Burundi faces a stark reality. It does not have a single modern railway. Not one. Every ton of mineral exported from Burundi must be moved by truck. Each truck carries only a few dozen tons. Convoys inch their way across damaged roads, often slowed by rain, landslides, or mechanical failures. By the time these minerals reach Tanzanian territory, and eventually the port, transport costs have already eaten deeply into profits. As a result, Burundi's export costs rank among the highest in Africa, severely limiting investment and industrial development. For years, economists and planners have agreed on the same conclusion. Burundi does not lack resources, it lacks access. The missing link no one could build. The solution seemed obvious. A railway connecting Burundi directly to Tanzania's port network would allow minerals to move in bulk, continuously, and at a fraction of current transport costs. In return, Tanzanian manufactured goods, fuel, and machinery could flow back inland just as efficiently. This idea gave birth to the Tanzania-Burundi Railway project in the early 2010s. Expectations were high. Political support existed on both sides, yet year after year, nothing happened. The reason was simple and brutally familiar across Africa: money. Building a modern cross-border railway is enormously expensive. Early estimates placed the project's cost at around $2 billion. For Tanzania, that was already a heavy financial burden. For Burundi, whose public finances are fragile, it was simply impossible without external support. Even after construction, railways require long-term maintenance, technical expertise, and coordinated operations, costs that do not disappear once the tracks are laid. Financing was only one obstacle. Technical coordination was another. A modern railway requires unified standards, track gauge, electrification systems, signaling technology, and border procedures. For two countries with limited infrastructure experience, aligning all of this across national borders was a major challenge. So for more than a decade, the railway remained what many African infrastructure projects become: an ambitious plan that never left the page. China steps in. That stalemate began to change recently. In January, China Railway dispatched a team of more than 20 specialists to East Africa to carry out a full feasibility study for the Tanzania-Burundi Railway. Soon after, an integrated design and construction contract was signed. The total value, approximately $2.15 billion. Crucially, the project secured financial backing from the African Development Bank, which approved around $696 million in funding for railway infrastructure. That commitment helped unlock the remaining financing and made construction viable for the first time. With funding, expertise, and political support aligned, the project moved from vision to reality. Inside the railway plan. According to current plans, the railway will stretch over 280 kilometers. It will begin in western Tanzania, connecting to the country's existing standard gauge railway network, and then travel westward through river valleys and hilly terrain. After crossing the Malagarasi River, the line will enter Burundi and terminate near key mining zones, including the area around Muzongati. The railway is designed for a maximum speed of 160 kilometers per hour and built to modern freight standards. Once operational, it will directly link Burundi's strategic mineral resources with Tanzania's ports, without relying on slow, costly road transport. For Burundi's government, this is not just another infrastructure project. Officials have repeatedly described it as one of the most important development investments in the country's modern history. Engineering, politics, and the race against time. Despite its promise, the project faces serious challenges. The railway may not be extremely long, but it passes through complex terrain. Bridges must span river valleys. Tracks must cut through hilly landscapes. Construction will demand careful engineering and environmental planning. Beyond engineering, coordination is equally demanding. This is a truly integrated cross-border railway. That means unified design standards, shared operational rules, coordinated customs systems, and clear mechanisms for dispute resolution between the two countries. These soft systems are often harder to build than the physical infrastructure itself. The timeline adds further pressure. Under the contract, the railway is expected to be completed and operational by around 2030. That gives the construction team roughly 6 years, including preparation, testing, and trial operations. Within that period, they must also install signaling, power supply systems, dispatch centers, stations, and maintenance facilities. It is an ambitious schedule. Can one railway really change everything? Skeptics often ask a simple question: can a single railway truly transform two economies? The answer lies in scale. Today, transporting goods from Burundi to the coast can take several days, sometimes even longer. With the railway in place, the same journey could take around 20 hours. That difference is not incremental, it is transformational. A standard gauge freight train can carry up to 3,800 tons in one trip, more than 100 times the capacity of a typical truck. Costs fall, reliability increases, investment becomes viable. For Burundi, Economists estimate that industrial output along the railway corridor could increase by over $1 billion once full operations begin. Mineral exports would finally reach global markets at competitive prices. For Tanzania, the benefits are equally significant. Increased cargo volumes would boost throughput at Dar es Salaam port, strengthening its position as a regional logistics hub. Warehousing, shipping services, maintenance industries, and customs operations would all expand alongside rail traffic. In short, the railway does not just move goods, it multiplies economic activity. A piece of a much bigger puzzle. But the importance of this railway goes far beyond Tanzania and Burundi alone. The project is designed as a critical segment of East Africa's Central Corridor, a long-term regional development plan intended to connect the Indian Ocean to the heart of the continent. This corridor links Tanzania with Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, and eastern parts of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, one of Africa's most densely populated and resource-rich regions. For decades, the Central Corridor has lacked a fully modern railway backbone. Its economic potential remained locked behind logistical bottlenecks. The Tanzania-Burundi Railway fills a crucial gap. To the east, it integrates seamlessly with Tanzania's national rail system and its ports. To the west, it opens future possibilities for extensions across Lake Tanganyika and deeper into Central Africa's mining regions. If expanded, this network could channel the mineral wealth of Central Africa into global supply chains, legally, efficiently, and at scale. A long history, revisited. This is not China's first major railway project in East Africa. In the 1970s, China helped build the Tanzania-Zambia Railway, known as Tazara, a 1,860-kilometer line often referred to as Africa's Freedom Railway. At the time, few countries were willing to finance such an ambitious project. China stepped in. For Tanzania, it was the foundation of a modern rail system. For Zambia, it provided a vital route to the sea, reducing dependence on apartheid-era trade routes to the south. Half a century later, many African leaders see echoes of that moment in the Tanzania-Burundi Railway. As one official reportedly remarked, China has come back again. A quiet turning point. If completed on schedule, this railway will not make global headlines every day. Trains rarely do. But quietly, steadily, it could redraw economic connections that have shaped East Africa for generations. For Burundi, it represents a path out of isolation. For Tanzania, a step toward regional leadership. For the region, a reminder that infrastructure is not just about transport, it's about possibility. Sometimes, the future does not arrive with noise. Sometimes it arrives on steel rails, stretching across borders, carrying opportunity with every passing train.